I will be using today the 65mm lens, which I didn't bring. I'm using today the 90mm lens. I thought I brought the 60mm. Okay, well, it's a big plan, change of plans. I was going to show you at this stage I'll be showing you the viewfinder preview, but I'm going to have to do it again, obviously. And there we go, 90. Oh, that's still nice. In fact, that's at least as nice as what I was thinking of. In fact, those lines on the rocks are more obvious in this image, so I think I might have just accidentally made a better image than the one I was planning on. Okay, there's my my ground glass there with the 90. This may be one of the few times where I could do with a swing, a bit of front swing. The Wista doesn't have front swing, but it has rear swing. So what I will be doing is applying a little bit of rear swing here. Like that. Let me show you. You've got to sort of change the perspective of the camera. Okay, so I'll just zero this. From the perspective of the camera back, that's the axis there. So if I swing the camera back, like that, and I've done it more than I need to. Don't look at it from the lens's axis and say, oh, you've just swung the back. Look at it from the position of the back and say, oh, I've swung the front and it's shifted over significantly. So to get it back onto the front axis, I've got to apply about that much shift. I ended up with about 5mm of shift, about 1 centimetre of rise, and just a couple of degrees of swing on the back. When I was in the field taking that, it took me ages to focus on the swing, and I wasn't very happy with it. It turned out that I did it exactly wrong. Let's start by talking about how Scheimpflug actually works. Okay, Scheimpflug works by, we have a camera with a film plane or a sensor plane and a lens, and we have a subject out here. In most cameras, the film plane and the lens plane are parallel. And the Scheimpflug principle says that the plane of focus, the film plane and the subject plane all meet at a point. And with parallel lines, mathematically, they meet at infinity. So if you have a parallel film plane and subject plane, film plane and lens plane, the subject plane will be parallel, which is what you normally do with lenses. As you focus your lens, you see that plane of focus move along. Okay. Some cameras have movements. Tilt and swing is what we're talking about, not shift, tilt and swing. If we tilt our lens like that, the subject plane, the plane of focus now has to meet at that same point, and we end up with a plane of focus that is now laying along the ground. Let's look at what I was doing out in the field. So this is that rock face that I wanted to lay my plane of focus along. Okay? If I want my plane of focus to be there and I want to keep my camera back square on, because this is how I'm looking, then my lens needs to be swung around like that. Now, in the video, I can't swing the front of the camera I can only swing with the back of the camera. So there's my lens there. Okay, there is my lens plane. It's always got to be a parallel. There's the back of the camera there, and I had it swung so it was like that. I then moved the lens across so that the lens was here. So I end up with that. Now, do you remember the swing that I said I wanted before? The swing that I said I wanted before was that. So I got the swing completely wrong. Instead of angling the background that way, I needed to angle it the other way, but I got all mixed up. When you're doing those indirect movements, yeah, you've got to always do sanity checks, and I didn't do the sanity check. I'm going to skip the part where I did the metering and all stuff like that. I'm just going to show you the negatives and the inverted pictures. You can see here I got exposure okay. Look at these areas here and see where they are out of focus. It's really wacky. When I looked at them, I thought that I must have damaged the lens in some way. Turns out I didn't, I just got it wrong.